Something major is happening this Monday, and millions of Americans on Social Security are trying to figure out whether the reports about a $2,400 boost are actually real. Maybe you have already seen the headlines. Maybe a friend sent you a Facebook post claiming seniors are about to receive thousands of extra dollars. Or maybe you heard people online saying the Social Security Administration has officially confirmed a massive increase for retirees, SSI recipients, and SSDI beneficiaries starting this week. But before you believe the rumors, before you assume a giant check is suddenly showing up in your bank account, you need to hear the truth. Because there is a real Social Security update happening right now, and it could absolutely affect your benefits in 2026. The problem is that a lot of the information spreading online is either incomplete, exaggerated, or missing the most important details seniors actually need to understand. So today we are going to break it all down clearly, step by step, using official information connected to the Social Security system, cost of living adjustments, Medicare deductions, and benefit calculations that could impact millions of retirees over the coming months. And trust me, what you are about to hear matters far more than the clickbait headlines people are throwing around on social media. Now, before we go further, I want you to do something very important. Go down into the comments right now and type your city and state. I read these comments every single day, and it helps me understand what seniors across America are experiencing in real time. Whether you are in Texas, Florida, California, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Georgia, or anywhere else in the country, your situation matters because Social Security benefits can actually look very different depending on where you live, your Medicare costs, your state supplements, and your personal earnings history. And here is something most people still do not realize. The phrase $2,400 Social Security boost is not necessarily referring to one giant lump sum payment being mailed to every senior in America. That is where a lot of confusion starts. In reality, the number is connected to annual increases that certain retirees could see over the course of an entire year, depending on their benefit amount, future COLA adjustments, Medicare deductions, and delayed retirement credits. For some beneficiaries, especially higher earners or married couples receiving combined benefits, the yearly increase could absolutely approach thousands of dollars. But the way people online are presenting it is making many seniors believe everyone is about to receive the exact same payment, and that is simply not how the Social Security system works. Still, this Monday matters, because the Social Security Administration continues preparing new payment adjustments, benefit reviews, Medicare updates, and projected COLA discussions that will directly affect retirees, SSI recipients, and SSDI beneficiaries heading into 2026. And if you do not understand how these changes work, you could end up confused about your deposits, disappointed about your payment amount, or worse, missing out on money you may actually qualify to receive. So in this video, we are going to cover exactly where the $20,400 figure comes from, what the SSA has really confirmed, how retirement, SSI, and SSDI payments could change in 2026, why some seniors will receive more than others, and the important steps you should take this week to protect every dollar you earned throughout your working life. The first thing retirees need to understand is that Social Security increases are almost never as simple as the headlines make them sound. And honestly, that is one of the biggest reasons so many seniors end up confused every single year. People see a number online, $2,400, $5,000, sometimes even more, and immediately assume the government approved a giant new payment for everyone collecting benefits. But the reality inside the Social Security system is far more complicated than that, because your actual increase depends on several different factors working together at the same time. Your current monthly benefit amount matters. Your retirement age matters. Whether you receive retirement benefits, SSI or SSDI matters. Medicare deductions matter. State supplements matter. And perhaps most importantly, future cost of living adjustments matter. Now let us talk about the part of this story that is actually real, because there absolutely is a major Social Security update happening right now. Every year, the Social Security Administration applies what is called a cost of living adjustment, better known as COLA. This adjustment exists because inflation slowly reduces the buying power of fixed retirement income over time. In simple terms, as groceries, rent, utilities, healthcare, and gas prices increase, Social Security benefits are supposed to rise as well, so seniors do not fall further behind financially every single year. That is the goal, at least in theory. For 2025, the SSA confirmed a 2.5% COLA increase, and that adjustment already affected millions of retirees, SSI recipients, and SSDI beneficiaries across the country. For some seniors, the increase added roughly $40 to $60 extra per month. For higher earners receiving larger benefits, the increase became significantly larger over the course of an entire year. And this is exactly where the 20,400 conversation starts making more sense. Because when you calculate annual increases across all 12 months, especially for married couples, delayed retirees, or higher income beneficiaries, the cumulative yearly increase can absolutely climb into the thousands of dollars over time. In some cases, combined household increases may even approach or exceed $2,400 annually, depending on benefit size and future COLA projections. But this does not mean every senior in America is suddenly receiving a one-time $2,400 payment deposited into their bank account on Monday morning. And honestly, that distinction matters enormously because many retirees are seeing misleading posts online claiming the government officially approved a giant direct payment for all Social Security recipients. That is simply not what the SSA announced. What is actually happening is a combination of annual benefit increases, ongoing recalculations, Medicare adjustments, and projected payment growth connected to inflation trends heading into 2026. Now, here is why this Monday update still matters so much for millions of seniors across America. Economic analysts are already closely watching inflation data that could influence the next COLA adjustment for 2026. While the official number will not be finalized until later, early projections suggest another increase may be coming for retirees next year. Some analysts believe the future COLA could land somewhere between 2% and 3%, though the exact amount depends entirely on inflation data collected over the coming months. And retirees are paying very close attention because inflation continues hitting seniors especially hard. Think about everyday life right now. Grocery prices remain elevated. Utility bills continue climbing. Insurance costs are increasing in many states. Prescription medications are becoming more expensive, and healthcare expenses continue eating away at retirement income faster than many seniors expected. That is why even relatively small COLA adjustments matter so much to retirees living on fixed monthly budgets. For younger workers, inflation may feel frustrating. But for seniors relying heavily on Social Security income, inflation can become financially devastating very quickly. Unfortunately, there is another problem many retirees do not fully realize until after their payment arrives. Medicare premiums often rise at the same time Social Security benefits increase. This is one of the biggest frustrations seniors face every single year. The government announces a COLA increase, retirees feel hopeful for a moment, and then Medicare deductions quietly consume part of the gain before the money even reaches their bank account. Medicare Part B premiums increased again recently, reducing the real take-home increase many retirees actually experienced. So while the gross Social Security amount increased on paper, the actual cash seniors kept after deductions was often much smaller than expected. And for some retirees, it became dramatically smaller because of something called IRMA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. This is where higher income retirees can face significantly larger Medicare deductions based on tax returns from previous years. And the frustrating part is that many retirees triggering these surcharges are not necessarily wealthy anymore. Maybe they sold a home years ago. Maybe they withdrew money from retirement savings. Maybe they had investment gains during a strong market year. Suddenly, Medicare classifies them into a higher premium bracket, and hundreds of extra dollars start disappearing from Social Security checks every month. Some retirees end up losing thousands of dollars annually to these Medicare surcharges without realizing they may actually qualify for an appeal. And that is why financial advisors continue warning seniors to review every deduction carefully instead of assuming the government calculation is automatically correct. Now let us talk about SSI recipients specifically, because this is another area where confusion spreads very quickly online. SSI, or Supplemental Security Income, operates differently from standard retirement benefits. SSI payments are designed for lower-income seniors and disabled Americans with limited financial resources. The federal government sets a base payment amount, but many states add additional supplements on top of those federal benefits. And this creates major differences depending on where you live. Some states provide extra monthly support that can significantly increase total payments, while other states provide little or no supplement at all. That means two seniors with nearly identical financial situations could receive completely different SSI amounts simply because they live in different states. And here is the really surprising part. A huge number of eligible seniors never apply for benefits they may qualify to receive. Some assume they earn too much money. Others believe they do not meet the requirements. And many simply never learned the programs existed in the first place. According to advocacy groups focused on seniors, billions of dollars in benefits go unclaimed every year because eligible Americans never complete the application process. That is real money, money that could help pay rent, utilities, groceries, transportation costs, prescriptions, or medical bills. Now let us talk briefly about SSDI recipients, because there are important updates there as well. Social Security disability insurance follows many of the same COLA rules as retirement benefits because both systems rely heavily on work history and prior earnings records. That means SSDI recipients also receive annual cost of living adjustments tied directly to inflation trends. But SSDI recipients face unique challenges too. Many Americans receiving disability benefits attempt part-time work at some point because living costs keep rising. And while work incentive programs do exist, earning too much income without understanding SSA rules can potentially affect disability eligibility. This is where a lot of confusion happens, because some recipients fear working entirely, while others accidentally exceed earnings limits without realizing reporting rules changed. Now, here is perhaps the most important part of this entire discussion. Many retirees still treat Social Security like a system that automatically takes care of itself. They assume every earnings record is correct. They assume every payment calculation is accurate. They assume every deduction is justified. And they assume the government will automatically notify them if they qualify for additional money. But reality does not always work that way. Errors happen. Missing earnings records happen. Incorrect deductions happen. Delayed recalculations happen. And seniors who never review their information carefully may never realize something is wrong. That is why this Monday update matters beyond just the viral headlines. Because millions of retirees are once again paying attention to their benefits, reviewing their payment details, checking deductions, and asking important questions about how much money they should actually be receiving after spending decades paying into the system through hard work and payroll taxes.